Direct answers. We need direct answers. We have the ability to destroy whatever is under Mount Hegseth.
Senator, our capabilities are confidential, but if anyone in the world can reach anything, it's the United States Army, the most powerful in the world. It's a matter of options and concessions.
Iran panics after the United States Secretary of War reveals how the American armed forces will destroy the mountain site. In the past few hours, this Tuesday, July 21st, 2026, Secretary Pete Hegseth stated before the Senate that the United States Armed Forces have secret capabilities to reach protected structures anywhere in the world. The statement came just as Donald Trump confirmed that he intends to soon target the Iranian underground complex located near Natanz. In this video published by Clash Report, Senator John Kennedy asks Hegseth if the United States can destroy whatever is hidden under the mountain. Hegseth avoids revealing equipment, plans, or operational details because much of these capabilities remain classified. Even so, he states that no structure is completely out of reach of American military power. The testimony took place in the Senate in Washington during a hearing on the request for additional resources submitted by the Trump administration. The session began at 2:30 in the afternoon local time and was quickly dominated by the war against Iran, the maritime blockade, and the advancement of Iran's nuclear program. The mountain site is located approximately 220 kilometers south of Tehran, near the Natanz nuclear complex. Satellite images indicate 220 meters over 100 meters of rock and reinforced entrances. Construction began after the attacks and sabotage that hit Natanz, with Iranian authorities stating that the site would be used for the production of advanced centrifuges. The Iranian regime chose to hide this structure inside the mountain because underground facilities are harder to locate, access, and damage. The problem for Tehran is that Trump has now turned the hideout into a declared target. The president stated at the White House that the United States will probably strike that area very soon and with enormous force.
Do you believe that Iran has transferred nuclear centrifuges to Mount Hegseth? And when you say we're not done yet, what still needs to be completed?
Well, I think they might have done that. We don't have it on record. We just read the fake news. We see it. The news gets it wrong so often that, maybe this time they're right. But that's okay. That doesn't mean anything unless they have the material. Are you talking about the centrifuges? Yes. Yes, it only matters if they have the material. We track them. That's where the action is. And we're definitely going to strike that area, most likely in a very short time. Yeah, and there's nothing they can do about it. Normally, I wouldn't say this. If I thought they could do something about it, I would never say this. But we're going to attack that area soon and with great intensity.
Information passed by Israel to the United States raised the suspicion that thousands of centrifuges may have been transferred to the complex. Trump acknowledged that this possibility exists, but made it clear that Washington still does not have full public confirmation. The situation remains explosive because the International Atomic Energy Agency is unable to safely verify what is installed in the Iranian tunnels. It is precisely at this point that Hegseth left the Iranian regime facing a nightmare. The Pentagon has not revealed which capabilities it intends to use, how many steps would be necessary, or where the operation would be launched from. In another video published by Clash Report, Hegseth takes a harsher tone when questioned about the military campaign. He asks the senators if they would accept extremists controlling a nuclear weapon capable of threatening the world.
I appreciate that no one has won a war, but I am facing a committee that only wants to talk about that. We've spent 4 years talking about the strategic defeat in a 4-month conflict to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear bomb. This city lacks perspective on the historic achievement President Trump is delivering. Do you really want Islamic radicals with nuclear weapons?
A bomb to face the world? No speeches, I'm out of time.
I didn't understand.
You can't answer my question, so I'll move on to the next one.
The statement reinforces the justification presented by the Trump administration to prevent the Iranian regime from hiding centrifuges and materials in ever deeper facilities. Hegseth also praised Trump for his effort and courage in preventing Iran from advancing toward a nuclear weapon. The secretary treated the Iranian program as a real threat that could not be ignored while the regime strengthens tunnels, disperses equipment, and limits access for international inspectors.
These contingencies were expected, and that's why President Trump deserves recognition for leading this effort and for the courage to ensure that radical Islamists cannot have a nuclear weapon to threaten us.
The hearing also exposed the enormous size of the operation. Hegseth reported that the war has already cost about $37.5 billion. The Pentagon is requesting tens of billions more to replenish munitions, pay military personnel, keep aircraft operating, and replace equipment used in combat. He warned that the lack of these resources could lead to cuts in training and compromise defense against missiles and drones. While Hegseth was speaking in the Senate, American military aircraft were seen in intense activity in the Middle East. The open-source intel profile tracked 6 KC-135 refueling planes operating over Israel and Jordan, a heavy transport aircraft over Saudi Arabia, an airborne early warning platform in the region, and other tanker planes over the Persian Gulf. The movement matches an air campaign that has reached its 10th consecutive night. The United States Central Command reported that American forces struck command centers, air defense systems, maritime facilities, and sites used for launching missiles and drones. In this video posted by the ASIM profile, Senator Patty Murray confronts Hegseth about the Strait of Hormuz. She questions how Iran managed to drastically reduce maritime traffic after the secretary stated that the United States controlled the passage. Hegseth responds that Washington has controlled movement in the region for a long time, but admits that Iran is still able to occasionally attack commercial ships.
Well, continuing, on May 5th, you said that Iran does not control the Strait and stated that there was a red, white, and blue dome over it. If that were true, how did Iran reduce ship traffic in the Strait to almost nothing last week?
We transported between 400 and 500 million barrels of oil right under Iran's nose in Project Liberty. We did everything clandestinely because acting discreetly was much more effective than doing it publicly. So we've been controlling the movement of traffic there for quite some time. But would they keep shooting at ships? That's what happened. We had a ceasefire. And then they recklessly attacked commercial ships like...
Hegseth also states that the American blockade against Iranian vessels and ships bound for Iranian ports remains effective. According to him, the regime is not charging the fees it threatened to impose, and dozens of vessels have already been forced to retreat, change course, or halt operations related to Iranian ports.
But you also said at that same press conference that Iran should allow ships to pass freely because those international waters belong to all nations, and Iran has no right to charge tolls. Last week, President Trump proposed charging a toll of 20 from each ship in the Strait. Based on your opposition to tolls, did you ask the president to drop that idea, or was it someone else?
Iran is not charging tolls, they are shooting at ships right now.
But Trump said he wanted to charge a 20% toll.
We have now blocked all Iranian ships and ports.
And it's effective. My time is up.
And then, the blockade was re-established after new attacks on shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. That's when the pressure on Tehran increases from all sides. The United States attacks military structures during the night, blocks sea routes, monitors the airspace, and keeps Pickaxe Mountain under overt threat. Trump also stated that he has no immediate interest in resuming negotiations because, according to him, the Iranians only seek talks when they realize they are being crushed by the offensive. Iran tries to respond with missiles, drones, and attacks against facilities linked to the United States in the Gulf. This Tuesday, Iranian forces claim to have hit American positions in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan. The ship was also hit in the Strait of Hormuz, forcing the crew to abandon the vessel. Washington responded by continuing attacks against targets in the south and west of Iranian territory. In this content published by Mario Naufel, there is also news that the Iranian air defense shot down a drone over the province of East Azerbaijan. The post raises the possibility that it was an American RQ-170 or an Israeli Harop aircraft, but this identification has not been confirmed. The Iranian press only stated that it was an enemy one-way attack drone intercepted by the Integrated Air Defense Network. The lack of identification shows the heightened state of alert in Iran. Any object detected in the sky now provokes an immediate reaction because command facilities, radars, launchers, and underground structures are being watched. The regime is trying to find out where the flights are coming from and which regions are being observed, while the Pentagon remains silent about its classified platforms. The regime chose to make the threat against Pickaxe Mountain public because it wants to force Iran to remove equipment from the site, accept inspections, or negotiate under extreme pressure. One thing that Tehran bet on was that a structure buried under a huge layer of rock would be untouchable. Tehran Rockset responded in the Senate that the United States military can reach anything on Earth while American forces continue to bomb the system. Iranian military system and prepare the next stage of the offensive. Thank you very much for watching this video until the end. Support our project and contribute financially through the Pix key that appears on your screen. We are an independent channel focused on keeping you informed with the truth. Your contribution helps us keep going.